shooting took place in the city of Dadeville in the U.S. state of Alabama yesterday. 4 people were killed and 28 others injured. The attack took place at a dance studio during a Sweet 16 birthday celebration. Law enforcement agencies have not provided any details on the motive of the attack. They've also not revealed whether any suspect has been identified.
If there's anyone out there that doubts the love that David had,
Around 100 people have lost their lives and over 1,000 people have been injured in Sudan. This comes as fierce fighting continues between the Sudanese armed forces and a paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces. The violence erupted on Saturday after a disagreement over the integration of paramilitary forces into the military. This was supposed to be a part of the transition towards civilian rule. The RSF has said that it's in control of the presidential palace, Khartoum airport and other vital facilities. The Sudanese army has denied the RSF's claims. A U.S. warship sailed through the Taiwan Strait on Sunday. The U.S. Navy described it as a routine transit. It comes days after China conducted military drills around the island nation. China staged military drills after Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen concluded her trip to 2 Central American countries and the U.S. China considers Taiwan as part of its own territory and has promised what it calls reunification. It has threatened to take Taiwan by force if necessary. One of the most prominent pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong, Joshua Wong, has been sentenced to 3 more months in prison. Wong has been jailed over an information breach involving a police officer. He has already served 2 years in prison for 3 other convictions. 26-year-old Wong rose to prominence in 2014. He emerged as a leader of Hong Kong's student-led protests. He was one of the 47 pro-democracy figures who have been charged with conspiracy to commit subversion. This is under a national security law imposed by China. Russian President Vladimir Putin met China's defense minister in Moscow. He hailed military cooperation between the 2 countries, which has been declared a quote-unquote no-limits partnership. The Russian defense minister was also present during the meeting. The 2 countries have been strengthening their economic, political and military ties. The defense minister visit comes soon after Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Russia. Russian private military group Wagner has released over 100 Ukrainian prisoners of war. The prisoners have been returned to Ukraine to mark the Orthodox Christian Easter. The Chief of Staff of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that 130 Ukrainian prisoners have returned in quote-unquote Great Easter Exchange. It has not been revealed how many Russians have been sent back. Russia has said that its air force intercepted multiple rocket projectiles from Ukraine. It added that a number of unmanned aerial vehicles of the Ukrainian forces were shot down. Ukraine claims that its forces conducted rounds of attacks on areas of concentration of Russian personnel and weapons. Russia is continuing attacks in multiple directions, including Donetsk, Zaporizhia and Kherson. Poland and Hungary have banned grain and other food imports from Ukraine to protect their local agriculture sectors. A grain deal between Russia and Ukraine allowed Kyiv to export millions of tons of grain through the Black Sea. Some of the ports were blocked, which caused large quantities of grain to stay in Central European states due to logistical bottlenecks. This affected the local farmers. Ukrainian grain is cheaper than that produced in the European Union. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has proposed a potential solution to the Ukraine war. He said a group of countries who are not involved in the conflict should broker a peace deal. Lula added that he discussed the matter with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping during his trip to China. He appeared to place some of the blame of the Ukraine war on Ukraine, saying that the decision to start the war was made by 2 countries. Japanese and South Korean foreign and defense ministry officials are meeting in South Korea's capital, Seoul. They are set to begin security talks for the first time in 5 years. The security situation in the Korean peninsula will be discussed. The two countries have also joined the US in a combined missile defense exercise. This was held amid North Korea's nuclear and missile threats. North Korea marked the 111th birthday of the state's founder Kim Il-sung on Saturday. A dance party was held in Pyongyang along with fireworks. Thousands of students were wearing face masks and they were shown dancing at the event. This day is also known as the Day of the Sun in North Korea. It's the biggest holiday of the year in the country. The country's current leader, Kim Jong-un, was not seen attending the event. Tens of thousands of people took to the streets of the Israeli city of Tel Aviv. This was to protest against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's proposed judicial overhaul. The crowd chanted the words "democracy and shame" as they waved Israeli flags. Israel's central bank and senior finance ministry officials have warned that the judicial overhaul will impact investor sentiment and may hurt the economy. Thousands of people in the Czech Republic's capital, Prague, protested against high inflation and energy prices. Protesters called upon the government to quit. The protest was organized by a non-parliamentary political party. It criticized the country's prime minister for the government's handling of the energy crisis amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. The party has also blasted the government for allegedly hurting the freedom of speech. Protests against pension reforms broke out in the French city of Rennes. Police detained 2 protesters and dispersed others. This comes after French President Emmanuel Macron signed the pension reform bill into law. This move has infuriated French trade unions, who have called for the demonstrations to continue. Macron's legislation will increase France's retirement age from 62 years to 64 years. It will come into effect from September this year. Cash-strapped Pakistan has hiked petrol prices. This comes amid the country's ongoing economic crisis and a steep currency devaluation. Pakistan's finance minister said that these revisions are necessary. He said this is because the cost of petroleum products increased in the international market over the past 15 days. However, in Pakistan, the prices for diesel and light diesel oil would remain unchanged. Pope Francis has rejected insinuations that former Pope St. John Paul II may have been a sexual abuser. He called the insinuations offensive and unfounded. The allegation was made by the brother of a girl who went missing 4 decades ago. The girl was 15 years old at the time of her disappearance. Wildfires are burning on both sides of Spain's border with France. Thick and dark smoke engulfed the sky above northern Catalonia. Trains and roads connecting France and Spain have been shut. Spain and southern France experienced wildfires over the winters as well. The region has experienced low rainfall due to a severe drought last summer. A forest fire is burning in China's Yunnan province. The wildfire was fueled by strong winds. 6 helicopters have been deployed to help douse the fire. Climate and energy ministers from the Group of 7 nations agreed to cooperate with other countries to achieve their climate goals. The G7 nations have agreed to speed up the development of renewable energy sources and reduce their natural gas consumption. The ministers met in the Japanese city of Sapporo for 2 days over the weekend. Germany's environment minister has said that the Japanese government and Tokyo Electric Power face a big responsibility. This is the handling of the consequences of the reactor catastrophe in Japan's Fukushima. The G7 ministers have stopped short of welcoming Japan's plan to release treated water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant. Financial giant JP Morgan has reported a surge in its first quarter bank deposits. The US lender reported deposits of $50 billion at the end of March. This comes after the collapse of two US regional banks in March. It drove customers to move their money to bigger banks. The US Federal Reserve's Board of Governors has approved UBS's acquisition of the US subsidiaries of Credit Suisse. This move clears another major hurdle for the completion of the merger of the two financial firms. UBS has committed to give the central bank an implementation plan for the merger within 3 months of consummating the deal. The plan will include more stringent requirements, including liquidity standards for the bank. The Bank of Japan's Assistant Governor, Tokiki Shimizu, has warned of extremely high uncertainty regarding Japan's economy. The country's outlook is clouded by slowing global growth and recent financial market stress. The Assistant Governor has said this. The remarks come after the International Monetary Fund trimmed its 2023 global growth outlook last week. Pharmaceutical giant Merck has said that it will buy Prometheus Biosciences for nearly $11 billion. Prometheus Biosciences is a biotechnology company that specializes in developing therapies for immune-mediated diseases. The acquisition will help Merck build up its presence in the field of immunology. The world's largest luxury goods group, LVMH, has agreed to buy a majority stake in jewelry maker Platinum Invest Group. This will help the LVMH ramp up production for its US jewelry line Tiffany. LVMH had acquired a majority stake in the luxury jewelry maker Tiffany & Co. in 2021. LVMH is also gearing up for the reopening of Tiffany's flagship New York store before the end of this month. The financial terms of the deal are not yet clear. Consumer electronics retailer Best Buy is cutting store jobs across the US. This would affect hundreds of jobs across the retailer's US stores. According to reports, the employees can, however, reapply for open positions within the company or receive severance. This comes as the company's efforts to trim costs and shift its business more towards the e-commerce model. Workers in Tesla's Shanghai factory are appealing to Elon Musk over cuts in performance bonuses. Users have taken to social media apps like Twitter to ask Elon Musk, his mother May Musk, and Tesla's accountant. Workers in the plants have reportedly been informed of a cut in their quarterly performance bonuses. These bonuses are linked to the factory's performance in the quarter. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is working on launching an artificial intelligence startup to rival ChatGPT maker OpenAI. Musk is reportedly assembling a team of AI researchers and engineers. He's also in talks with investors to shore up investments for his new venture. Surprisingly, this comes weeks after a group of researchers and executives, including Musk, called for a 6-month pause in AI development. Lawmakers in the US state of Montana have passed a bill to ban the short-form video app TikTok. The bill would prohibit mobile app stores from offering TikTok for download to users in Montana. According to the bill, TikTok, as well as mobile app store operators like Apple and Google, will face fines if they violate the ban. Microsoft's Bing may soon replace Google's search engine as the default search service on Samsung devices. This will reportedly put into risk roughly $3 billion in annual revenue for Google. In recent months, Microsoft's Bing has emerged as a potential threat to Google's search engine dominance. This comes after Bing's addition of OpenAI's technology to provide ChatGPT-like responses to user queries. Moving on to sports. In tennis, Andrei Rublev defeated Holger Rune to win the Monte Carlo Masters. 5th seed Rublev won 5-7, 6-2, 7-5 against Rune. After the match, Rublev said that he struggled to get the title. Rublev's opponent, the 19-year-old Rune, became the youngest Monte Carlo finalist since Rafael Nadal in 2005. In cricket, Arjun Tendulkar, son of Indian batting great Sachin Tendulkar, has made his IPL debut with the Mumbai Indians. The left-arm seamer opened the bowling attack for Mumbai. Arjun conceded 17 runs in his 2 overs against the Kolkata Knight Riders. Arjun and Sachin Tendulkar have become the first father-son duo to play in the IPL. Hardik Pandya, the captain of Gujarat Titans, has allegedly sledged Rajasthan Royals captain Sanju Samson. Samson kept his cool during the spat and gave it back in style by smashing a hat-trick of 6s against the Titans. Samson's game-winning knock against Gujarat has ensured that Rajasthan Royals retain the top spot in the IPL 2023. In football now, Manchester City striker Erling Haaland has equalled an English Premier League goal-scoring record. 22-year-old Haaland equalled Liverpool's Mohamed Saleh's single-season goal-scoring record. The Norwegian star achieved this feat as Man City beat Leicester City 3-1. Arsenal threw away a 2-goal advantage in their draw against West Ham. Gabriel Jesus and Martin Odegaard put Arsenal in the lead in the first 10 minutes. West Ham bounced back with Said Benrahma's penalty kick. Jared Bowen scored West Ham's equaliser in the 54th minute. Arsenal continue to lead the league, with Man City trailing by 3 points. The Egyptian Football Premier League has suspended almost 6,000 fans for shouting insults. Fans of the Al Ahly Football Club shouted insults against Zamalek Football Club and Egyptian player Shikabala. The fans vented their anger towards midfielder Shikabala as part of a long-running trash-talking war. The Al Ahly Football Club was also fined for their unruly fans. Alex Rins wins the MotoGP Grand Prix of the Americas after world champion Francesco Bagnaia crashed while leading the pool. The Spaniard's victory in Texas was a first for the LCR Honda team. Italy's Luca Marini, the brother of MotoGP great Valentino Rossi, finished in second place for Ducati. France's Fabio Quartararo and his Yamaha team came in third place, completing the podium. In golf, Matthew Fitzpatrick has defeated Jordan Spieth to clinch the RBC Heritage title in South Carolina. Fitzpatrick became the first Englishman to win the tournament since Nick Faldo in 1984. After the win, Fitzpatrick said he had dreamed of playing on the Harbour Town course since he was young. Fitzpatrick has also clinched his first win since last year's US Open victory. American rapper E40 was ejected from a basketball game. This was an NBA playoff game between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. The rapper claimed that he was heckled throughout the game before security guards ordered him to leave the arena. E40 said that despite his success, racial biases remain prevalent. The Sacramento Kings have ordered an investigation into E40's ejection. Azerbaijan has withdrawn its athletes from European Weightlifting Championship being held in Armenia. Azerbaijan has claimed that an Azeri flag was burned during the opening ceremony. Azerbaijan's Sport Ministry has urged the European Weightlifting Federation to sanction Armenia. Armenia has rejected Azerbaijan's criticism and said that there was no danger to any of the athletes. Television drama series Baywatch is set for a reboot. Talks are on at production network Fremantle with streamers and broadcasters to finalize the new show. Baywatch was one of the biggest TV shows of the late 80s and early 90s. Its popularity made overnight stars of actors Pamela Anderson and David Hasselhoff. Actor and filmmaker Clint Eastwood has announced a new film. The 92-year-old actor will direct and co-produce the legal drama titled Juror No. 2. Shooting for the film is set to begin by mid-June this year. Actors Nicholas Hoult and Tony Collette are in talks to be cast in the film. Director John M. Chu has released the first look of his film Wicked. The director tweeted a series of photographs with lead actors Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. The film is currently under production in Australia. It will release in theatres on the 27th of November 2024. Netflix has released a teaser for the new season of its reality show, The Ultimatum. The new season is called The Ultimatum Queer Love. It will have contestants from the LGBTQ community. The season features 5 couples made of women and non-binary people. It will premiere on the 24th of May. Screenwriter and producer Shonda Rhimes will be awarded the BAFTA Special Award. The award honors people for their contribution to film and television. Rhimes is credited with popular shows like Grey's Anatomy and Scandal. She will receive the award in an in-person ceremony on the 3rd of May in New York in the US. Singer Bruce Springsteen has tested positive for COVID. Due to this, he had to skip the inaugural American Music Honors Awards show. The awards were launched as a fundraiser for the Bruce Springsteen Archives. Honoring the singer, New Jersey governor declared his birthday, the 23rd of September, as Bruce Springsteen Day. Singers Katy Perry and Lionel Richie will be among the artists performing at King Charles III's coronation concert. The live event will have 20,000 guests in attendance, including the King and Queen consort Camilla. It will also be broadcast on various media channels of the BBC. The ceremony will take place on the 7th of May at Windsor Castle. K-pop band Blackpink have made history at music festival Coachella. They've become the first Korean band to headline the festival. Blackpink had debuted at Coachella in 2019 and became the first Korean girl group to perform at the festival. The band said that this was a dream come true for them. Korean music band WEN have released their first pre-debut single titled On My Way. The news was announced on their social media on Sunday. The official video for the song will be released on the 27th of April. The Museum of Contemporary Art Gala took place in Los Angeles over the weekend. The show gave attendees a first look at DJ-producer Carl Craig's immersive installation. Actors Keanu Reeves and Jodie Foster were among those who visited the show. The exhibit will run till the 23rd of July.